everybody. And I'm going to give some guidance. I had time to do another video. So it's about to turn into a mental illness battle. It's going to get buck wild starting next week. So y'all might want to schedule a staycation or vacation. You might want to make plans to detox from technology starting Monday. You might want to have some plans to go on technology breaks, y'all. It's about to get buck wild next week. Mental illness is going to get out of control. Yeah. So, it's going to be, some of y'all may go through stuff with your coworkers. You may go through toxic social competition, intellectual knowledge competition. It's going to get buck wild. It's going to be like intelligence war, knowledge war next week. It's going to be private business side hustle battles going on, genetic battles going on. You arguing with people with the same race as you. It's going to get buck wild starting Monday. It's already starting. Some people are already being affected by the energy of the stars, and it's only going to get worse. Okay, you might want to turn commenting off on some of your live videos next week. You might want to avoid doing any live videos online around 10 a.m. You might want to just do upload videos at 10 a.m. Also, between 4 and 9 p.m. it's going to get buck wild. Mental illness is going to run rampant. People are going to try to drain your energy. Energy vampires is going to be thirsty to try to give you burnout. So try to put your energy into your creative work and try to give gratitude for the money and the abundance that you got, and focus on your private projects. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, y'all. My hair is tickling my ear. I'm gonna go ahead and have a look at what's going on here, because mental illness is about to be rampant as heck. It's gonna be like people just want to have mental battles. Free. Also, you're going to feel like you're not being promoted. People may start discriminating. People may hate on your genetics. African Americans may feel like they're getting cheated out their money or promotions or donations. So you might want to, save your money and be a little bit more mindful of what you spend your money on. Okay? You might have people with the same skin color as you trying to lock you up. So let's get this. Let's see what's going on here. Because of the Mercury retrograde, okay, the Mercury retrograde starts to make some people mentally unstable. It gets bad, and some people also feel like bitter. Okay, because we had this buck moon, and then Mercury's ruled by Virgo. Normally it is. So it's going to be, people going to be bitter and be trifling and disrespectful. So, and their mental illness is not going to be, it's not going to be real healthy. Okay. The Mercury retrograde could be full of tricks. So just be careful with people trying to trick you out your energy and your mind or time, or try to waste your time because they got mental health problems. So the Mercury is actually working in your favor in another kind of way, which I'll talk about in a minute. Okay. Mercury is to help you to revise, edit, become a minimalist. So try to practice minimalism. Some people are going are not going to be in that energy, because the retrograde is going to make them be 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 messy with their bag of tricks with their energy. um so some of y'all may feel a little bit worn down, so make sure you get extra rest. Start resting on Sunday. Like on Sunday start scheduling rest time, self-care, putting more time into yourself. This is a good day to start getting rid of any dirty laundry, just lightening the load so you don't feel this weird mental fatigue. The retrograde can cause you to feel like you're taking on more than you can. So you want to try to get your environment together, more organized before the retrograde. So let's have a look here. Okay. Mental illness, y'all. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of drama. It might, for some of y'all, um, you need to work on your homemaking. If you're feeling depressed or sad, you need to focus on being a good homemaker rather than arguing with people in toxic cycles of argument. You want to avoid that. Okay, you need to try to complete any opportunities. If you had some opportunities recently, you need to complete them because they could lead to some sort of big manifestation. Okay. um, excuse me. If you may feel more at home with dealing with people overseas. Okay. Try to avoid the comments on the social apps that are toxic. You want to focus on your creative energy rather than gossiping. Okay. Some of y'all may end up being popular in France, in the UK, in foreign countries. You may find yourself at home and at peace. If you're African American, you might want to stick with the UK resources during the retrograde. Just saying, y'all. Okay. Um, so let's see here. The buck moon can make people get, when the retrograde is coming into it like that with the Mercury, it can make people get ruthless with how they treat other people. So just watch your back with your coworkers and watch your back with um your family. Okay. If you're attending any parties, just try not to get involved in any family battles right now. It may feel like it's easy to get into battles with your family or people of your own race or genetics. You may find that that's happening a lot next week. Okay. All right. Some of y'all may be supposed to work with your pens. Okay. Be careful of health problems during the Mercury retrograde. You may find it hard to push through any bad habits of self care. So you need to start today a self care plan. Okay. All right. You might want to check your money too. You may have somebody trying to get in your bank account. Okay, just be mindful of your money. Just saying, y'all. Keep track of your bank account, like stocks and bonds and things like that. There could be people trying to hack into your bank account and everything next week. So just just check it. You might end up being conned. There could be some con art. You may find out that you got conned. You may have bought something and it didn't really turn out like the way you thought it was going to. So you might want to look at any investments. If you need any refunds, you better get them now. And if you need refunds for anything, get them now. Um, because it may be hard to get the refunds. Okay. Um, okay. Try to deal with people next week to protect your mental health. You have to deal with people who have compassion. If people don't care about your feelings and compassion, it's going to really bring your spirits down. Next week is going to be in that kind of energy where you need to be around people that's caregivers. You might want to let somebody take care of you or get somebody else to do it next week, because the retrograde energy going to make you feel like you're pushing like you have to push through, like the tides are high or the ocean is too strong. So if you're going to push through next week any products, you need to do it at a minimum. You need to sprint your way to success next week. Don't try to do 3 hours worth of creative work. You need to do small amount, bite-sized pieces of work until you're done with it. The Mercury in retrograde teaches us about patience and learning how to take our time. So if you rush next week, you might bite the dust. If you try to get too much done in one day, you're going to get burnout. You need to be in recovery of your energy more. Okay. Um, you may want to plan a vacation, like a mini vacation that will allow you to rejuvenate your energy. But you can take your creative stuff with you. All right. Yeah. Okay. Seven of Hearts. You may have jealous energy in your friendship, or you may have jealous energy at a party, or you may have jealous energy in your family. So, social groups. You may have people jealous of you, so they might try to cause drama and you're on the social apps. Okay. Hmm. There's a lot of cutting that we're going to have to do. Make sure you're not cutting people who don't need to be cut. Use your knives and your mind wisely next week. It'll be a strength. So you might want to make sure you're getting enough magnesium and vitamin B and D in your diet next week. So you need to make sure that you're not indoors a lot. You need fresh air to be able to deal with the retrograde. Okay. Some of y'all may feel like something is dying, or you may feel like something is literally being brought down in the dark, or something is having a funeral. So it might start to bother your spirits. So that's why you need to stay prayed up during Mercury retrograde. You do need to connect with people who is interested in doing business with you. You just need to make sure that you investigate whether they're trustworthy. Be careful who you trust next week. If you're trying to build a business or make a product, it would help to have someone who will help you, or a co-worker. So you may want to look for an assistant next week in work so you don't get burnout. Okay. All right. Be careful who you go on a date. You may regret the date. I'm just saying, y'all. All right. Somebody might be trying to expect you to be perfect. Somebody might be trying to push you into perfectionism energy, and then it starts to create chaos in the relationship. So anybody that has negative placements with their Virgo, if you're in the natal chart, you need to avoid them. That would be people who haven't learned their lessons with their Virgo South Node. If you know people that got negative, low vibrational Virgo placements, you need to avoid them. They may be just a trickster. Okay? They may be someone that only cares about the work you're doing, but they want to make you think that they want to put a ring on it, or that they really care about you, when they're just trying to trick you out of your energy. Just be careful. Okay, make sure you have some fun. Avoid people that want to teach you and treat you into the. Avoid anybody who's trying to turn you into the family slave, or acting like a slave master to you. Just literally just avoid them. Um, you want to clear out your mailbox. If you don't, you're going to miss a very important opportunity. Okay, there's a lot of people that's going to want you to invest in opportunities, and some of them are really good, but the opportunities are going to come through your email. Okay, so make sure you're keeping it open here. If you end up putting something out before Monday, it may actually be successful if it's some sort of art project. So you might want to spend a weekend getting something done and then putting it for sale. Okay? It might feel like it's not doing that good at first, but then suddenly whatever you published have a breakthrough. You're just going to have to be in positive energy next week so that the breakthrough comes. If you are trying to really make money right now, it would be best if you do a series and be a minimalist at what you're doing. If you're starting a new business or YouTube channel, investing in it, you do need to be leaping. Okay, like multiple little videos, like not super long videos, but you know, yeah. Okay. You may want to check in on the elderly or the older people in your family. Somebody might be real sick, and the mercury is going to make them worse, or something of that nature. If you're having trouble with any medical, you may find that you're kind of struggling with it. It may be slow to get through some medical condition. but you should start seeing a breakthrough in it in the later in the summer. If you have people in your family who has significant Virgo placements, you do need to check up on them because they may feel very drained. It may feel like some people are using up their energy. The whole world is using up their energy. So you need to check on them. That means if someone has significant Virgo rising, significant Virgo sun, or Virgo is in their house of success, or their fame house, or their health house, or their north node. If you have any of those Virgo placements, then you do need to make sure that you're not running yourself dry. Okay? Um, you have to stay hydrated. Okay? Stay hydrated from now through next week. So you don't flip into some bitter type energy. Okay, let's get into it. All right. You may want to check your digestive system, your intestines, your spleen, and your pancreas. If you're having problems with your abdomen, you may find it is getting a little worse. So if you're having problems with your abdomen, you might need to get some home remedies that will help that. Okay. Yeah. Let me. I'm having my angel guys tell me what to look up. Okay. Yep. All right. Mercury will be in retrograde for Aries, Pisces, Leo, Scorpio, and Sagittarius. Okay, this could mean you may be influenced by toxic behaviors. Eating unhealthy, eating trash, you may end up being bipolar with trying to detox. There may be some arguments that are draining. When retrograde is in Aries, you might end up feeling like you're not a good fighter. You're just like, oh, why am I not as strong or whatever? So, yeah, try not to go in too hard or you're going to get burnout when retrograde is in Aries. You may feel like your YouTube channels aren't going as fast. Yeah. You may feel like other people in the same business is competing with you too much. Like you may see like, oh, every time you do something, they do something. It's like, like you in some sort of battle for a breakthrough. There needs to be possibly a saltwater cleanse. Okay, if you were thinking of doing a saltwater cleanse to clean out your bowels, your intestines, that's something you might want to do next week. Drink some tea that's for your intestines or your bowels and your abdomen. All right. You may find you may you're gonna have to be careful what you do with your genitals. Yeah. With the Pisces, Aries, Leo, Scorpio energy. All right, be careful of being tempted to be messy with your sexuality. So try not to get sucked in to too much of the wildlife. You may also experience some a little bit of insomnia, maybe, with the Scorpio Pisces energy being in retrograde. Like you're so tired, and it's like you're just kind of in purgatory. It's like you can't go to sleep. You might end up watching too much TV, or arguing, or doing or nighttime stuff. Uranus will be in retrograde in Gemini and Taurus. Okay. Okay, Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, and it's associated with revolution, innovation. So you may feel like breakthroughs is happening a little slower because you have Uranus with retrograde in Aquarius and Taurus. Yeah. You may start having technology problems, because air energy. So you might feel like you might find that your videos on YouTube not uploading, or they're acting up, or your technology might not stay in charge. It's gotten so bad that right now in Pennsylvania, the 911 system is down. Okay? So you might want to check your alarm system more than once, because your alarm system may not be working right now. When you got retrograde in Aries, that's like heavy interference. Okay? And with the Aquarius, it's like heavy interference in getting some work done. Yeah, it's not good. So be careful. Expect the unexpected from here through next week. You might end up breaking something, dropping things, products not working, lost money, things, just weird stuff like that happening. Lost data on your computer. So you might want to do a hard purge of all your technology right now so it can handle all that retrograde Aquarius energy coming through. Be careful of on the road. You may get in an accident. You might tell your family members to be careful of driving, being in traffic, being road rage. Like, tell people to be careful of people who getting in road rage. Uh, yeah. Also, getting in fights in nightclubs and bars and stuff. People who are drinking wine may end up getting toxic. So, I highly recommend that you avoid low vibrational entertainment. Okay. Uranus is a generational planet. So if retrograde is in with retrograde is with Uranus, you may find that your family member is slow with their connection with you. Like slow to give you, slow to connect with you in peace. There could be unnecessary boundaries. All of a sudden, people acting like they don't want to connect with you, or they're giving you the cold treatment. So you may have people stonewalling you. I'm just saying, y'all. If you're dealing with narcissists, you may find that they're stonewalling, that they're dealing with their vanity. They're playing, mental mind games with you. Mm. You may find that if you're trying to solve problems, it's almost like people don't want to solve them. People don't want to put in the work to make things work with you. You might have people breadcrumbing you their energy, because some people. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all. Some of y'all may dealing with somebody that might end up cheating on you, or they doing something. They got secrets in parties and social activities. Um, with that Aquarius and Pisces and Scorpio having y'all, I'm gonna continue. You may have people who think they could do better. They might be making secret plans to do something with their time they're not telling you about. Hi everybody. Also, you may have people being very narcissistic and egotistical, not respecting your boundaries or your manifestation. You can either have a really, really, really good breakthrough, or something be brought down to its knees. Damn. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that, y'all. This phone is about to hang up again because the retrograde energy already coming through. The Mercury. Um, you may feel like you want to push through, you want to go harder, but you may end up getting very emotional. You know, Saturn teaches us how to process our emotions, and Uranus in retrograde teaches us how to peacefully communicate. So try to avoid the temptation to argue. Keep your arguments down to very minimum. As a matter of fact, you're better off talking more in your art than talking to people. Okay, starting on Sunday. Keep your communication tight. You know, you may find that people are being unnecessarily competitive. Mental competition. Um, Also, people might some of y'all may find that the feminine energy is being competitive, and it ends up turning masculine. So just be mindful with your social activities over the next uh, week or so. All right, I'll put that down here. If you're on YouTube or on some sort of group, you may think that you need to do more. No, you also need to. What I'm getting is to avoid high fat diet. If you eat a high fat diet, you might actually get sick because the Mercury retrograde is already very oppressive of your energy to teach you how to be peaceful with your energy. You're learning how to be peaceful in communications. So last thing you want to do is do things that will give you fatigue. You don't want to do things that give you fatigue. You want to actually have a brain diet. Okay, so you might want to look up brain foods and foods for detoxing. So you want to eat your mushrooms, you want to have your beets, you want to have your amino acids, fruits that give you amino acids like pineapple, peaches, orange juice. Bananas give you amino acids as well, because amino acids are very important for energy. So to make sure you don't get so low energy drained on a retrograde, you need to make sure that you're drinking things that have amino acids in it with vitamin B group. Okay? If you're a woman, you definitely don't want to skip on your vitamin B next week. Or your magnesium. Magnesium is really important. It kind of go hand in hand with Virgo energy. But if you're using up your Virgo energy because you're like in that micro working through your day, then you definitely need that magnesium. Okay? All right. The Uranus energy also has to do with the head and the personality that goes with the ego. But some of y'all may be dealing with a shapeshifter who's giving you a fake personality, and their true self is being shown in secret. Somebody might be showing up to you one way, but behind your back they're another way because of the Taurus energy. Also, um, all the earth energy being manipulated. Yeah. You might want to just focus on some sort of innovation or invention, or writing, or drawing, or sculpturing. Investigative research into some sort of innovation product that you have. If you're into analytical stuff, if you like being analyzing things, you might want to do more reading, thinking, having some quiet time to think so that you can analyze things to learn how they're working. Learning how things work. Especially if you're into weaponry, especially if you're into literature, especially if you're into apps. Maybe you're learning how to work a writing app, something like Instagram or Substack app. You might want to take your time to set your private businesses up. So next week could actually be a time in which you're just pretty much getting all your work together and setting up these new private businesses, but you're doing it in silence and privacy. You're not really telling anybody what you're doing because you may find that people might come to attack it. Okay. You may have some delays with some traveling. Some of you may feel if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to cancel your plans because you're just going to feel like the retrograde has made you even more tired and sluggish. So don't try to stay up later, even though you may feel like you want to. If you didn't get enough sleep, literally go back to sleep. You may want to take some melatonin if you're feeling like you can't sleep. You can feel tired and still be sleepless at the same time, like the guy in Fight Club. Okay. The nice thing about this is that Uranus with the retrograde is not going to be in Taurus again for another 7 years. So if you're trying to have the ultimate breakthrough in Taurus and you're like the retrograde is slowing me down, you're not going to have to worry about Uranus being in retrograde with your Taurus until another 7 years. All right. Yeah. So Aquarius is ruled, Uranus is ruled by Aquarius. So the Aquarius, you don't have to worry about. Okay, basically, if you're trying to manifest something in social groups, if you're trying to have your own parties and have some sort of breakthrough, big breakthrough, it may not come back around for another 7 years. Or if your retrograde in Uranus is causing you to not quite have a breakthrough in a social group, you could be released from that from that stuckness. So basically, after retrograde is gone, then you'll notice a breakthrough in your social groups. Okay, you might end up becoming very popular. You may feel like you're very unpopular next week, but once the retrograde clear out, the Uranus is really going to serve you. So I highly recommend starting your YouTube. If you're starting any new business and you're trying to make it public, you definitely need to make it public very soon and just learn what will benefit your new business, and don't expect a big breakthrough yet. Now, depending on where you are, okay, yeah, if you were trying to have some sort of scientific breakthrough, there might be a little delay on it, but it's coming. There's something that you may have to go against. You might have to not follow the rules. Just saying, y'all. Something could be trying to keep you from following for keep you from being non-traditional. Something might be trying to force you to just follow the family rules or just do it the way everybody's doing it, and you're not supposed to. Okay, if you do it that way, you'll find that it's almost like your business is stuck in retrograde even when the retrograde is gone. Y'all, I'll be telling it like it is. So if you were planning to um, have a big breakthrough before the fall, you do need to be the boss of you. You may find it hard because um, you may find that people are putting too much work on you. You may be backed up with some work. If you have some work, some important work or organization problems, you need to get rid of that work right now. If you got a bunch of housework, you need to work on getting this housework done. Otherwise, it's going to be like you're not going to be energized enough to manifest in a unique way. You're going to just stick with the familiar because it's less draining of your energy. You need to make your home a minimalistic home during the retrograde. Simplify. Okay. So let me see here. I'm typing in what I'm getting in my mind. Yeah. Yeah. There's a breakthrough coming, but it's going to, y'all going to feel like there's like bipolar breakthroughs, okay? But you know, you're going to feel like, "Oh, I lost the breakthrough." It's going to come back around. You're just being tested. Okay, you may feel like you're having a couple days where it's like, I'm not very, I don't feel clear enough. My energy feels heavy. So I don't know if I want to do any work. You may feel that way. Those are the days you're supposed to be resting. Okay, and just doing a clearing. A lot of people think breakthroughs is just always work, 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 work. Breakthroughs are doing what you love, what brings you joy, what gives you peace, what doesn't keep you stuck, what doesn't play games with your emotions. You have to deal with things that don't play games with your emotions. Some of y'all may have an on and off relationship and it might get toxic. So just be mindful, okay? You may feel like You're having clarity, and then suddenly you're fogged up. So you might want to get some. You might want to start burning some frankincense, okay, during the retrograde, to just and sage to get the fog out. Because the Mercury in retrograde, when the retrograde's in the Mercury, it tries to fog up your mind. It tries to make you act illogical and say illogical stuff. Also, you might end up believing in illusions. So just be mindful. Yeah, it's going to get Friday and Saturday may feel like why does it feel hard to get through? It's hard to get the sun. You may feel like that, and then you may feel woo like you've been released from the fog, but then you might be right back in the fog. Yeah, you might feel right back in the fog Tuesday and Wednesday. Like it seemed like it was only, you may feel like the breakthrough wasn't that good. But Saturn is teaching you how to not jump the gun and not be so emotional because things didn't happen all at once. Things didn't happen for you all at once. Saturn is teaching you that to healthy process your emotion about distractions and interference. So you may feel like something's trying to interfere with your breakthrough, then you need to make sure you're mindful of your emotional reaction. Hey, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Out. No. Flicky. Y'all, my cat is literally laying on the cords. Come on, Bubba. Out, 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 out. No, not on these cords, bud. No, no, not on the cords. You're gonna get electrocuted. Go ahead. Don't lay on the wiring. I'll be back in 1 second, y'all. Go ahead, bud. I've been so scared that my cats are going to get electrocuted. They be rolling their bodies on the sockets. Okay, so some of y'all may feel like you're falling into some deep depression. So you do need some creative or fun social activities scheduled for Sunday and Monday. It needs to be something that gives you peace. You may need to ghost something. You might need to ghost something on Sunday and Monday, and go somewhere where your company is enjoyed. Okay. Some of y'all may feel like you're fogged up, sad, depressed, drained out at the same time. Almost like you're just heavy, and then boom. Okay, you might feel like you have an emotional release, but then it's almost like something tries to block the sun from you again. I'm thinking about how the Mercury retrogrades moving with the Uranus, and yeah. Some of y'all may feel like you're slow to care for certain people because they make you feel like they're trying to keep you in bondage or trying to waste your time. You need to avoid time bandits next week. I'm just saying, y'all. If you don't avoid ruthless time bandits, energy tricksters, within 2 weeks, all hell's gonna break loose. Some of y'all may be like, I'm out of here. Okay. There may be something you may be releasing next week as well. It's like you're just done with the games. Some of y'all may be doing a last minute purge of some kind. Okay. Um you may want to turn to your spiritualism. You might want to literally become very spiritual next week. Even if you're a psychic, You might want to trust, you might want to do psychic readings for yourself if you feel like your intuition is being manipulated. You may feel like you don't trust your intuition because of the foggy energy coming through. So you may want to do your oracles next week. Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking about how it's going with the what I see and just meditating on the energy with the if you are a mother, yeah, some of y'all may feel like your serotonin is low. You might want to do things to give you serotonin next week, especially if you're a woman over 40. If you are a black woman over 40, you need to work on your serotonin levels. It will help. It will help if you let people, somebody take care of you. You may find that you're slowing down a bit with self-care. It's almost like you don't have the energy to just complete your self-care in one session. You need to allow someone else to look after you. I if you think that if you abandon something it will go away, that's not going to happen. You need to actually take charge and get rid of get rid of anything that has been breadcrumbing you or only giving you small rewards. It's not even worth keeping. Okay. You may feel like resources is coming in slow. There's going to be a lot coming through. Your faith is being tested. Retrograde is going to make you feel like, why is I can't find no resources. That's when you have to have gratitude and work with what you got. You're going to have to work what you got, and then suddenly it's going to be like a tidal wave of opportunities. All right, yeah. Take care of your heart health because that it is the heart chakra that's going to make the manifestation happen. The heart chakra. Yeah, and the back. Take care of your legs. You may feel like they're heavy or they're not that strong. So, yeah. Yeah. I would say don't do too many high powered runs. Don't be so hard on your legs because you may find that when you go to manifest something else, you don't have the energy. Um, right now, you're being tested. We're being tested to see if we can stay in charge of ourselves, making the rules, not being codependent or a people pleaser, not sacrificing your self care because you're afraid to lose something that's not even abundant. Don't be in that energy, y'all. Okay? If you were thinking of moving, taking your show on the road, you should. Be careful of thinking you have and you didn't. I keep getting shadow energy. Maybe you think it's almost like you don't realize the fog is still there because you are settling for the shadow version of your law of attraction. Okay, go for the real one. There might be a missing piece. Puzzle energy is struggling. There might be a missing piece to this manifestation. And all you got to do is do the missing piece, and then you're no longer in the shadow work. You're all the way in the light version of your destiny. Okay. You may be feeling like you're ready to give up. At some point, y'all may be like, I'm ready to quit, not even do this manifestation. You might be ready to throw away your vision. It's not that you got to throw away your vision. You have to take your vision somewhere else and you have to change something about it. It needs some sort of upgrade, or it needs something very distinctive about it. It needs a different body. It needs a different form, possibly, or a different address. Yeah, but don't stop doing it. Don't quit. Um, don't give up yet. Don't be saying that you're not going to be covered and favored when you are. It's going to feel like it because you're like, man, this stuff is slow. But then suddenly you're going to be like, wait a minute, random money's coming in. So, um, you might need to be the one that's the peacemaker with how you act. If you're in a relationship, you need to probably be the one that's the peacemaker. Okay. Even though you might feel like you're being tested to the ultimate test, you need to not lose your cool. Yeah. Thinking, all right, yeah, some of y'all may be like, I ain't been getting much lately. um, it's going to turn around, okay? It's the retrograde. There's people who aren't giving you much is because they're going through something. They're going through stuff. They're not telling you though. They could be going through stuff at work and their own family. They're going through stuff on their job and stuff. So it's kind of a delay with them helping you out. They could be having a health problem, especially with the Virgo retrograde, Taurus retrograde type of energy. So somebody might be stressing out so much that they are not in a generous energy right now. But that's going to change. Okay. Yeah. Expect the best very soon. If you're seeing the number three sometime, if you start seeing the number three, things are going to work in your favor. Or if you see threes and sixes, like sixes and threes, you have to really take care of yourself. Um, yeah. You might want to start a new work group. It's not going to be as abundant at first, but then abundance is going to come. All right. It's like pay your own way right now. That's the kind of energy that's out here. It's like don't expect people to rush in to pay your way. You have to stay in very independent energy. Um, pay people to take care of you, but don't expect nobody to do anything for you for free. And don't um yeah, give yourself emotional care. If you're having problems with feeling what you feel about your past or past love affairs, you might want to talk to a mental health specialist, especially with that retrograde in Taurus. I mean, retrograde in Aquarius. You may want to talk to a mental health doctor. or a minister. You might want to talk, yeah, you might want to, if you're having problems in your marriage, you might want to go see a priest, take you and your partner to church, or to go see, or monks. I don't know if anybody's into monk energy, but this would probably be a good time to uh, get some guidance from Stoics and monks. If you're into Stoic philosophy and old wisdom in quotes, this is the time to get into that stuff. Um, to see what downloads you'll get that will help you. If you can't do it, then you need to see a Stoic. Stoic energy will be abundant provided that it is prepared to be Stoic. So you may want to prepare being Stoic next week. That way you're not draining your own energy, you're not overworking, you're not wasteful, and you're glamorizing mental strength over material gain. You need to see mental strength as wealth right now, at least for the next week. Next, I would say 12 days to be on the safe side. That means being by yourself to think, to have some quiet time, and you know, if you like, if you like crime scene shows, this is a good time to watch those. Science movies, sci-fi, you might want to watch that kind of stuff. If you're feeling too tired to do any housework, you may want to watch old-fashioned films that have to do with going into the unknown, like the Twilight Zone, that have, unexpected twists to them and stuff. Short films. Short is the key. Short. You may feel like watching a whole movie is too much. So you might want to watch one movie over maybe a few days. Yeah. You need to be able to hear yourself think. So be careful of having so much uh, voices coming into your head through the day. Yeah. Hey. Wow. Okay, there is a psychic intuition boost that is coming if you can actually fast. If you can fast like the nuns and the monks and the priests, if you can allow yourself to be pure, you definitely want to stay celibate and avoid any type of masturbation. You may feel at moments where you feel unloved, so you may be tempted to masturbate. Don't do it. Like pray through it. Pray. Don't go out there and get strange. You know what it means to get strange? Don't go out there and get some strange sex. I'm not picking that up as happening, but the temptation is dear. Some of y'all are manifesting a loved one, a partner, or something of that nature. Just make sure that they're not a distraction from your financial work. You may feel like you want to put your financial work on a burner. At some point, very soon, you may feel that way because you're so focused on energetically working on a relationship, but your relationship should not be taking up so much of your time as a work in progress. It shouldn't be doing that right now. Okay. Hmm. Soul reflection. Virgo can be also introspection as well. The Hermit. So you want to do introspection on your shadow self. So you can get rid of any unhealthy way of thinking or speaking so that you can be in a higher vibration. You might want to listen to wind chimes or have cool air on you through your day. If you feel like your sevens are going in reverse, it could be because something is putting fear in you. Some past experience with something that you were trying to manifest is affecting your faith in it, is affecting whether you will be brave enough to do it. So there's something that you need to just that didn't work out, that maybe made you sad. It might have something to do with a manifestation. Okay, maybe you feel like you did something wrong with the manifestation. You're you're going to find that in the end, it's going to work out. Okay, people that didn't have faith in you will start to have faith in you because your determination and perseverance to show your worth is earning their faith, and so the fear will go away more. Okay, you'll be less fear. Um, excellence is an attitude, as I was hearing as in the quote say. Excellence is um it's like it's feeling happy. It's not necessary. Not it doesn't have to be what people say is excellence. Excellence is how you feel about it. If you know you did your best and you was good at it, then don't doubt your excellence. Um, then it must eventually serve you. It might even be like a 2-year-old video that suddenly serves you. The point is, you know what kind of energy you was in, that you was at peace. Peace, most of all, the percentage of peace was high. The percentage of your peace inside of you was high when you was doing it. So it must eventually serve you. You may not know who you can trust. Okay, you may be having trust issues. Right now, it's not even a time to deal with that. If you like, I don't trust this person, they're taking up too much space in your mind. So you need to just put your mind on your work and realize you can't force somebody to show you their true self. You can't force somebody to prove to you they can be trusted. Um, you may want to talk to your parents or a priest or somebody on how you should deal with um, a love affair of some kind, or how you should deal with discrimination. If you feel discriminated against, you might need to get some guidance on how to deal with it. If you feel like people have been ungrateful of your guidance or ungrateful of your destiny, you need to maybe go to your Bible scriptures and get a prayer for that. If you're feeling vengeful or you want to get even, you need to pray so you're not in that energy. Okay, don't be tempted to go into vengeance energy, uh, um, charging in energy because you feel like the injustice needs to be dealt with ruthlessly. Don't get into that energy. Okay, realize that people get their karma sometimes thinking they got away with whatever they're doing. That they got away, they think they got away with their disguise, but they end up making a mistake, thinking that that they're that they're in the right energy with being a betrayer. Most times when people betray you, they're betraying you doing something that is actually hurting them. They may not know right away until the karma is done being delivered. Okay. Yeah. You may feel like you're being cornered at some point. Like you may feel like something is like making you run away and be cornered, and that you don't know who to help, you don't know who to go, you don't know who to give to, you don't know who to fight for. You think that the people that you know might not be worth fighting for, or a business or a marriage is not worth fighting for. You feel like it's a battle that's been draining your energy. If it has been draining your energy, then maybe you need to check out of the battle. Sometimes you do say, sometimes you do gotta peacefully retreat and go fight a war that you might be able to win in peace. Sometimes sometimes you let people bite the dust, and you go make a friend, and you make meet somebody new, and you go enjoy your life. um Reap the benefits of your good health right now before you start to get tired because of the retrograde, feeling a little sluggish. If you're feeling good right now, you may want to decide to do something fun this weekend. um yeah, it could be on the 19th of this month, or next month. If you were thinking of getting pregnant or delivering a baby, that could work in your favor. You may feel like it's hard to get to complete a vision. You may feel like it's hard, but it's going to happen. Okay, whatever you think is birth, it might be a slow delivery, but it'll happen. You're going to get some peace. There's going to be some sort of um blessing or favor that's being protected. So you don't have to worry about anything. You're going to worry because by you feeling that Mercury retrograde, you're going to worry. But you just got to manage how much you are worrying and how much you're stressing. I think that over next week, over the next 10 days, consider bathing with eucalyptus and mint, burning the heart chakra incense, and eating your spinach and your greens. Don't skip on your green vegetables. Yeah. Don't doubt your creative energy. Use a resource to help you complete it. You may say, why can't I, I'm fogged up. It's because you're trying to do it on your own too much. Instead of digging in your bag of tricks. Go into your bag of tricks, go on your bookshelf, go in the resources that you have already, and let them help you get it done. You might actually need to seek some counseling or other teachers to help you to get it done, whatever your manifestation is. Okay. I can tell you some of y'all, if you're watching this video, your manifestation also has to do with your self-care, self-love, journaling, maybe using your diary entries as inspiration for some work. Maybe photography as well. If you don't know, if you don't have an idea of a new project you want to start, you might want to look at your photos. You might want to look at paintings. Yeah. You might want to be, you might want to learn how to be fashionable and figurative with your manifestation. It could be that you're not being figurative enough. You could be being a little bit too predictable in your manifestation. You're not taking enough leaps, or you're not thinking outside the box. Yeah, with Aquarius and Virgo, whatever you're working on, you're going to have to think outside the box. This is if you're designing books, if you're designing anything. Okay? If you feel like things are hidden from you, or you're not clear about something, use that feeling for a manifestation. It's sort of like stream of consciousness, trusting the flow state, not always having to know how things are going to turn out. So you might want to do free flowing creation, letting your feelings determine what you will put into the art form. I'm thinking of like Kandinsky and Monet. Being mindful of your perfectionism type energy. Like a less is more type of mindset. That would be like Hemingway with his modern poetry. So you may want to think about mixing the modern with the figurative, contemporary. If you've been thinking about doing sculptures or things like that, you might want to consider that. Or if you were thinking about starting a cooking channel, that might actually work in your favor with the Aquarius and Taurus energy that's scheduled to be released from the retrograde. You might want to consider starting a travel channel for fashion and food, because the Sagittarius energy is in retrograde, but it's going to come out of retrograde. Right now, you might be procrastinating and saying, I don't know if I want to go somewhere. I don't know if I want to do any travel. I don't know. You're going to come out that energy. Okay. All right. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. Definitely take very good care of your hair. Your head and your crown chakras is very important for your next manifestation. So, just take care of it. Okay? Throat chakra, heart chakra, crown chakra. You also want to set up some protection before you go to bed, because the spirit world may also be messy. Let me see. I'm checking on my download. Yeah, be careful of inflammation in your lymphatic system. You may want to put some time aside for your feet, your pituitary gland, and pineal gland. Check on that. Okay. Also, yeah, I said feet earlier, so I was tapped in on that download already. I said earlier about taking care of your feet. I went in there and washed my feet again. You may want to go and do some grounding with your feet. Okay. Yeah. Okay. If you've been feeling like pain in your legs or liver, you may feel like, why am I going through this? It was the retrograde. It was um like you might have been blocked from intuitively taking care of that. But it's going to be better. Okay? You need to avoid fatty foods. You need to not overdo the grains. If you're going to eat any high carb food, it needs to be literally for an intense workout, or don't even eat it. Get your energy from protein and fruit and mineral water, like this, which would be the air energy. So get your energy from that. Don't try to get energy from high carbs. You're going to be like pushing yourself to work out and go to the gym, and that's going to be literally hard on your heart chakra. The heart chakra energy boost is actually for a law of attraction manifestation, not necessarily to go harder on fitness during a retrograde moon. You're better off doing cardio and HIIT for another week or two, and light weights. Light. Like, try not to lift weights that are almost heavier than you. Like, no deadlifts or anything. That's not going to be good for your back, your legs, or your liver. So no, I would avoid deadlifting in the gym. Okay, I helped everybody out. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. If you'd like to send a donation, you can send it to my Cash App at Coach V Hunter. Thank you very much for your donations. I also want to mention before I go, please be careful of your head. Watch where you're walking. Be careful of having to hit the brakes, because you may end up hitting your head in a car accident or something. So just make sure that you're protecting your head. If you're out in a storm or lightning, something could fall, okay? The unexpected could happen, like a tree might find or fall on your head, or you might even trip and fall. Your wheels on your car, or you might not hit the brakes in the time because you was going in too hard. You know, just be careful of getting tickets as well. So the police, you may end up getting a ticket not being mindful of your speeding. Basically, speeding right now comes with consequences. And it's going to come with more consequences over the next week. You're better off driving 5 miles under the speed limit right now. Yeah. Okay. Be careful of, let's see, let's get this. Looking at this here. You might want to get a massage. I don't know if any of you are into massages for the circulation in your body. You might want to do a spa day next week. Like, if you like to go to the spa, you may want to go this Sunday. Yeah. If you eat a high-fat diet or inflammation, you may find it is bothering the bottom part of your legs. You may need to protect your thighs. Your thighs may be sensitive to allergies and things like that. Make sure you're disinfecting where your sleeping quarters are. Don't sleep somewhere that makes you feel like you're sleeping in a chicken coop. Don't lay sleep in places like that. Make sure you're not skipping on your sexual health and genital health. Make sure you're taking care of your kidneys, the urethra. So don't let yourself go dry. You need to make sure you're having healthy fluids coming through. Yeah, be careful of your colon. That means no eating a lot of takeout, or your colon will become toxic. If you were thinking of scheduling a colon cleanse, you might want to do that very soon. Be careful of being out in the world, being out the world mentally unstable. You could actually have equilibrium problems, thinking delays with your thinking. And what happens is you might get in some sort of car accident because you kept focusing on and off while driving. So really during a retrograde, I recommend driving only when you need to. Period. Um, Avoid back breaking work. Anything that hurts your back. Anything that makes you breathless. Anything that cracks the whip on you, you need to avoid it. That's what I'm getting here. I'm giving intuitive messages as I look at the cosmos. Um, Throat chakra needs special care. Very special care. And the ears too. You might want to clean out your ears. So definitely the ears, definitely the circulation. You may be taking extra good care of your teeth because it's the buck moon. So you may be, I'm gonna take care of my teeth, but don't neglect your feet. And don't neglect your throat chakra. Yeah. Feet. Keep getting feet. Ankles, feet, bottom of the legs. Under the knee. Yeah. Okay, bye everybody. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. Bye. If you like to send donations, you can send donations to my cash app at money sign coach V Hunter. Bye.